Hello everyone and welcome back to my quarantine. I've wanted to make this video for actually a really long time because I've read some really good books, travel books lately, and I wanted to share them with you. So this is a perfect time to make book recommendations when you're stuck in your house and not able to do anything else. So if you have that wanderlust itch, these are some books that will maybe get you excited for your next adventure, whenever that may be. I'm hiding in my basement because I have so many people in my family that it's impossible to do anything productive in this house. Anyways, so the first book I want to recommend is 10 Years A Nomad by Matthew Kepnes. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm really bad with name pronunciation. This book is actually basically a travel diary, a chronicles of Matthew's life being a nomad for 10 years. So traveling around the world for 10 years. It's very insightful. It makes you want to get out and explore the world. I don't know if that'll help you under quarantine, having a strong desire to go out and explore the world, but you know. I read it fairly quickly. It's an easy read. I liked it because a lot of his insights or some of the things that he said I really relate to, so it was easy for me to fall in love with this book. So highly recommend 10 Years A Nomad. Something a little more advanced, I cannot recommend this book enough, The Shadow of the Sun. Oh god, the name is gonna screw me up. Ryszard Kapuscinski. This book is absolutely amazing. So I stumbled on this by accident. If you watched my previous vlogs from Cuba, you might have known that I didn't have Wi-Fi the entire time I was there, so I didn't go on my phone, I didn't have internet. One of the staff members at the resort I was staying at, he let me borrow this book. He was working at the pool and he had like a stack of books, and he let me borrow this book for the week to read, and at the end of the week he actually like insisted that I keep it because I was so in love with it. So Ryszard is actually a Polish journalist, and this is all of his journeys to Africa. The way he just tells stories, it just captures you and like brings you there. This book is amazing, like absolutely amazing. And he also didn't have a large budget from the company he worked with, so he would actually like stay in places that other journalists would never stay in. So like when other journalists were reporting from afar, he was like reporting from the ground. And he actually got malaria at one point, so like it's just a great book of adventures. I highly recommend. Like I read it in 5 days because I was so obsessed. This is not really a travel book, but when I go to a specific country, I like to learn something about the history. So I get a book that intrigues me so that when I'm walking around places, I can like relate to like what had happened there. When I went to Cuba, again, I had no internet, so I read a lot. I picked up this book, The Mafia in Havana, and it tells you the history and stories about all the mob happenings in Havana, and it's actually so intriguing. I'm obsessed with the Mafia in Italy. I have like so many books on the Mafia in Italy, so I really wanted to read this one when I went to Cuba. So just in general, if you're going to a country and you want to learn a little bit about the history, it's a good idea to just, you know, pick up something that excites you and you can also learn at the same time. So The Mafia in Havana by Enrique Cerulles. I'm gonna butcher all these names. I apologize. I am just terrible with pronunciation of foreign languages. I should really work on that. That's my next recommendation. I have 2 books here by Lonely Planet. You can't go wrong with Lonely Planet. Again, you can get all their stuff online as well, because this is like a phone book, like, or like a Bible-sized book on travel. So this one is on South America. I just got the book version because I guess I like to highlight things and like put little like tabs in things that I like and I want to see. So this is more for planning your next adventure. I'm supposed to be going to South America in July and August, but given how things are going, I'm not sure if that's a possibility anymore. So I picked up this book to plan my next adventure. But again, if you're stuck in quarantine or if you're stuck at your 9-to-5 job in the normal life outside of I'm not gonna say it in this video, then having one of these things kind of like transports you to that other place so you can kind of have fun planning your next adventure. So Lonely Planet is excellent for that. I just like that no one actually sponsors them to put their stuff in. All of the experiences and the restaurants and all the recommendations in here are genuine to the people that work at Lonely Planet, and they've experienced these things and they put it in here. And there's a lot of good stuff on Off the Beaten Path or like notable things that you shouldn't miss. So I really like the travel books by Lonely Planet. They have ones for every individual country as well if you just want to plan to go to one country. So accompanied with that is the Latin American Spanish Lonely Island book. So I wanted to like pick this up as well. I mean, the least I can do if I'm traveling to another country is to pick up on the language a little bit so that I can be able to converse with people in their native tongue so that I'm not forcing them to speak English if they don't want to. If you're stuck in the house and you have nothing to do, learn another language. So another travel diary that I really like is Che Guevara's Motorcycle Diaries. I know what you're thinking, too political, I don't want to learn about revolution and communism and whatever, but honestly this book there's underlying tones of politics in it, but it's about his motorcycle journey through South America. The way he describes things is so at times colorful and then at times very grim, depending on what he's seen, and just the simplest thing that you can just like look at and say, oh, that's beautiful. Like he just goes into depth, just is very descriptive about everything. It's a really good book. So the book I am reading right now in quarantine, I've always had a fascination with Mongolia. I actually picked this up just before this whole crisis started, so I'm very happy about that. This is called the Mongolian Chronicles by Alan Smatilo. And Alan is actually an artist and a writer. So he traveled Mongolia and he just like has such a unique way of displaying his travels. As he's writing about the nomads in Mongolia, he also paints about them. So like every couple pages there'll be like a nice painting of like his perspective of what he saw. It's just like such an artistic book through the writing and through the art pieces itself. Haven't finished it yet, but I'm enjoying it so far. So those are the recent travel books that I've actually read so far. I'll put all the links in the description box below to pick them up on Amazon, because I know probably no other bookstores open right now, but I don't know if you're watching this after we're done lockdown, then go pick it up at your local bookstore. Don't forget to subscribe to see the weekly vlog that I put out regarding what's going on in the world and what we're doing in my household to curb boredom. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.